Hi folks, welcome to our YouTube live review. This is a preview of the one that we're going to actually get later today, for those of you that actually taken an exam early. So I wanted to answer some of the questions appearing throughout the YouTube live questions section. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started, and we're going to get started with more of a conversion problem. So we have a new sidewalk will be 4 feet wide, 200 feet long, and filled to a depth of 6 inches with concrete. How many cubic yards of concrete are needed? So in this problem we are looking for cubic yards, and that can be seen right in the problem. That last line says how many cubic yards of concrete are needed, and the only information that we have is a volume essentially of new sidewalk. And the way we can get the volume, so the volume equals the length times the width times the height, because it's 4 feet wide, 200 feet long, and filled to a depth of 6 inches. So with that being said, what do we have? Well, our volume equals 4 feet times our 200 feet times our 6 inches is a half a foot, so we'll put 1/2 of a foot. And so we can multiply those together. 4 times 1/2 is 2, and so 2 times 200 would be 400 cubic feet. Okay, so when we take a look at that, what actually happens? We have 400 cubic feet there. We want to convert to cubic yards, so we have 400 cubic feet. Now, in order to convert this to cubic yards, we're going to need to know something. And this doesn't quite tell us exactly what it is, but we can get there using this information. We know that 1 yard equals 3 feet. Okay, so that means when we have a feet cubed, that's feet times feet times feet, so we're going to have to do 3 of these, having feet down below. So we have feet there, we have feet there, and then we have feet there. That'll allow us to cancel off the feet cubed. So up top, we're going to want to have the yards being the other part of our conversion. So we know 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, and 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Well, just by using properties of these fractions, you can multiply the denominators across, because it's multiplication there, and we get 400 over 27, and our feet right there will cancel off with the feet cubed, and we're left with the yards cubed. Okay, so now we can just pull out a calculator and type in 400 divided by 27, and we see that that's 14.81 cubic yards. But look at how many cubic yards of concrete are needed. You can't get 0.81 cubic yards. So what we'll need is 15 cubic yards of concrete. Questions on that? And if there's questions at any point in time, there's that little chat box. Please ask them there, and I'll be happy to kind of answer them along the way. Okay. So I don't see any questions, and we'll get moving forward. So now we have another conversion problem. Gas mileage actually varies slightly with driving speed of a car. Suppose your car averages 38 miles per gallon on the highway if your average speed is 55 miles per hour. And it averages 32 miles per gallon on the highway if your average speed is 70 miles per hour. So first off, what is the driving time for a 2,000 mile trip if you drive at an average speed of 55 miles per hour? So I'll put at 55 miles per hour. Now, let's think about that. That's 55 miles, per means division, hour. And then you can think of that as, if it's per hour, it's per 1 hour. So in other words, we have 55 miles equals 1 hour. Okay, and we want to know the driving time of a 2,000 mile trip. Okay, so we go 2,000 miles, and we want to convert this to hours. Well, if you notice, so 2,000 miles, that means we're going to need miles down below. And then we want to, hopefully, sometimes you can't have it right away, but you want to have hours up top. Okay, well, we know that if we're going at 55 miles per hour, we have 55 miles, and that's 1 hour. Right? So this is 2,000 divided by 55. Notice our miles cancel, and we're left with hours. And so 2,000 divided by 55 equals 36.36 hours. Questions on that one? Okay, let's see if I can fit in this little space. Well, at 70 miles per hour, what would happen? Well, if we're going 70 miles per hour, it's the same song and dance, but we just take 2,000 miles times 1 hour for 70 miles now, because we're going 70 miles an hour. So that means our answer is going to be 2,000 divided by 70 hours. Notice your miles will cancel once again. And then when you hit 2,000 divided by 70 in a calculator, you'll get 28.57. That's a 7 there, don't let your eyes fool you, hours. Hopefully you can see how those conversions work, right? We're just trying to write it in a place where we can cancel things out. Now, the next part, assume a gasoline price of $3.90 per gallon. What does the gasoline cost for a 2,000 mile trip if you drive at an average speed of 55 miles per hour? And then what does the gasoline cost